Alright, let's say you took the time and effort to think up a topic, make a video, edit that video, and put it on a worldwide platform, and only receive 4 views in 13 hours. What would you do? More than likely, if it happened on a consistent basis, you'd quit. And personally, I wouldn't blame you if you did. But I ain't you, and you ain't me. So we shall continue along the same lines that we have been on this entire time. And as we go along, whether I get views or not, I'll become a little more efficient at presenting my ideas, a little better at editing videos, and so forth and so on. And even if it turns out to be a useless and unproductive skill, it's just another skill to add to the pot for future use, should it ever become necessary. But I have noticed one thing, though. People seem to prefer, at least the ones that get notified and actually click on the videos where I'm driving the car. So away we go. You might not like Alex Jones. You might not like Donald Trump. But the things that they have went through, and that we've all watched them go through in the past few years, are totally relevant. Because should they have their way in instituting the system that they want to put in place, we will all be Alex Jones and Donald Trump. If you don't agree with their ideas, their philosophies, and opinions, the same kind of things will happen to each and every one of us. And if you don't see that by now, you obviously haven't been paying attention. Take Tulsi Gabbard, for instance. Probably the best presidential candidate that's come along since the con job that was Barack Obama. What'd they do to her? Effectively, they ran her out of the party, or made being associated with the Democrat left unbearable and untenable for her. And they will do the same thing to anybody who's not down with their system, to anybody who doesn't agree with their ideas and rhetoric, or no less, that doesn't believe their bullshit. And this should be concerning to everybody. Whether you're mildly interested in the state of the affairs of the world or highly interested. And at this point, we should all be highly interested. Because nobody is going to escape the effects of what's coming, should it actually arrive. Some say it's straight out of Revelations, and I tend to agree. But it can only happen if we allow it to happen. You can only throw away your soul and your free will if you make the personal choice to do so. Because you're hungry, because you're cold, because of whatever. That's your choice. If you really want to get a handle on all this without listening to Alex Jones or Donald Trump or Tulsi Gabbard, for that fact, or various other people, all you have to do is read the books that they hold up as examples. Huxley's Brave New World, Orwell's 1984. It lays out everything they're trying to do and where they want to take us. I don't know how to put this. The people who run this show aren't like you and me. They don't see the world like we do. They don't have the practical experiences and life experience to understand what regular people have to go through on a regular basis. The only way to put it in layman's terms, I suppose, is they're spoiled, rotten. And because of it, they think everybody should bow and submit to their will, because that's what spoiled people do. Here's the truth of it. If you're not prepared to bow your head and go along with their system, they plan on taking you out. And when I come back, I'll explain exactly how that works. Alright, here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. And this is why they shadow ban and suppress my videos, because they knew sooner or later I was going to do this. They want chaos. And it's not necessarily why you might think. They want to keep you distracted with minor bullshit in order to install the machinery that it takes to run the system they want to put in. A lot of people are just now starting to notice that self-checkout kiosks are becoming more prevalent, that different kinds of digital scanning payment machines are showing up in places that they've never been before. Besides the fact that they don't want to be held to the penalties of treason under the U.S. Constitution, that's what a lot of the distractions that we have been seeing are all about. While you're looking over there, something else is really going on over here. My suggestion would be, if your favorite store puts in one of those machines, don't shop there anymore. It's the only way to protest what's coming before it actually gets here. And make it a point to tell them on the way out the door why you're not going to shop there anymore. We have reached what can only be called a crossroads. And if you're just going to keep your head down and follow the crowd, the sad reality is you're going the wrong way. And I've said this before, and I'm quite sure I'll say it again until they finally realize that I'm not going to give up and kick me off the platform for whatever contrived reason they come up with, which, by the way, that's the day I'll be filing my lawsuit, because I have all of their violations of their own terms of service on video off site. Damn it, I went off on a tangent. I forgot what I was going to say. Anyways, I guess overall this would be my main point. And I've seen this a million times in the shop. Just because you don't believe or don't want to believe it's happening doesn't mean it's not happening. Just because you want to pretend what's going on right under your nose isn't going on right under your nose doesn't mean it's not happening right under your nose. And that's why I don't have any choice, no matter what they do to my channel, even if they lock it down to 0 views. I can't quit. I won't quit. Because I don't want to be sitting across the table from St. Peter after my demise, however it might come, trying to explain why I gave up and allowed humanity to throw away the greatest gift that God ever gave us, free will. I will not put myself in that position. And I would suggest anybody who has any semblance of faith look at it the same way. If you don't make videos, you don't talk about whatever on whatever social media platform, maybe you ought to start, because you might end up being asked the very same question that I won't have an answer to if I walk away. Why didn't you try to help your fellow man avoid this? Because we all have free will until we don't, until we throw it away. That's what faith is all about, in my estimation. And the sad reality, or at least what I see coming, is many who claim to have faith will throw away their soul for scraps, for a few comforts, because they don't know how to survive and improvise during hard times. They're coming. They have to. It's the only way they can coerce people into collapsing into their system. Because obviously, trying to institute it in the way that they have isn't working. So they're going to have to go to the next level and starve people, shut their power off, scare them with events. It's inevitable. And like I said, if you want to see where this is all going, and you don't have to buy the book, you can even find audio books on YouTube. Huxley's Brave New World, 1984 by George Orwell. It pretty much lays out the whole thing. Oh yeah, and one more thing. I don't know how many of you have ever heard of the Weather Underground, But there was a big deal about them when I was a kid, because they had a chapter in the capital city here in Wisconsin called Madison. And the Weather Underground wanted to cause incidents around the country so that the American government would collapse and they could take over. There was a guy named Larry Grathwell who was an informant for the FBI, I believe it was. They gave an interview, which interestingly enough, you can't find on YouTube anymore. And he was talking about how when and if the collapse ever came, that they would have to eliminate millions of people who they didn't think they could re-educate into the new system. And that's anybody who's awake. So here's the rest of the story on that. Bill Ayers, the founder of the Weather Underground, was close friends with Barry Soetoro, aka Barack Hussein Obama, during their years at Harvard. So pay attention, because things are about to get interesting. And say a little prayer that there's more help on our side than what it appears. Because I refuse to believe that everybody who works at Google, YouTube, or Facebook, just to name a few, believe in what they're trying to do. They're scared because they don't want to lose their job. They don't want to lose their livelihood. And that's the model that their bosses are using against the rest of us. Here's the funny thing about fear, and I learned this a long, long time ago when I was 7 or 8 years old. If you don't master fear, it will master you and make choices for you that if fear was removed, you never would make. Bear that in mind for the future, because before too long, it will be relevant. Take care.